Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Can I quickly open Chrome to get a bright screen? There you go. How's everyone doing? This is James from GraphicsGFX. Today you're watching a tutorial on how to do artwork like King Jediah. I'll quickly get him up on screen now. King Jediah, not Kingston University. Right, that's just bring up Bonnie. There you go. Bonnie. If you know, you know. Anyway, this is King Jediah. Someone commented on my a tutorial I did a few videos back saying that they want me to cover how to do this art style, so I thought I'd give it a go. I love his Instagram. This PewDiePie Little Peep one's actually sick. And you can see, like, with the hair, I was really interested by the effect. I tried speaking to him, I sent him a DM, but I didn't get a response back, so I took it upon myself to work out what he does. And I've come very close. There's a few things that I'm still not completely sure with. I think, so, it looks like he's painted everything from scratch, and at first I was like, damn, that's insane. And he still is a really good artist, but I think that he takes a shortcut to get to a stage where he starts doing his own work. I believe he does some effect, say he uses Photoshop, he uses an effect to get himself a lot closer than I originally thought. So obviously he uses pen tool, you can see some like strong geometric shapes on his face, but the effect of like the hair and the beard, because I guess it was an image to start with, the effect he applies obviously is a big part of it. So I'm going to be using this image. I think I might switch it up if this doesn't look right, because that's quite a cool image as well. Right, we'll try both of those and see how they both come out. So first thing you're going to want to do is jump onto Photoshop. I'm just going to make it my wallpaper resolution and then blow it up, keeping the proportion. Put that image there, and where was that other image that oh, that's quite a cool image. Yeah, I'm going to see this guy quite soon, which is exciting. Right, and then that image there. So, as I said, I don't know what he does, but I think I kind of got quite close. So the first thing that I found... Oh, voice crack. I've been voice cracking like mad. I really hope I grow out of it soon. Right, so the first thing that I think you do is you go to noise, and then you go reduce noise. And it adds like that kind of blur effect that you see on the hair. So like if you look at PewDiePie's hair, it's like almost like a liquefy brush. At first I thought he just used the smudge tool a lot, and I think he does use the smudge tool, but I think this effect helps you get started. So you can see that that's now just smoothed it all out, so I'm going to do undo. It's gone from that to that. So it's given that kind of blurred effect. And that's it on this side. And then I think he uses a, if you go to filter gallery, artistic, film grain. I think he uses film grain, and then you can see like the settings that I've done here, intensity to the max, and then grain completely off. You don't want grain, and highlighted area. I mean, that just depends on your image, so you could highlight it a little bit, like I could have just that highlighted, but I'm not going to for this, for the purpose of this. Or what does it look like over here? It looks better on that one. It depends if you want dramatic lighting or not. Anyway, once you've done that, once again do the noise reduction after doing the film grain. So yeah, with noise reduction you want strength to maximum and all the other ones off. Okay, and then you're back to this stage, which is like a really soft liquefied image. I see huge similarities in, like, if you look at how the beard there is done, you can see it's very similar to like the side of his head. I maybe should have done like an image that he'd already done so I could see how similar I could get it. Anyway, you can get rid of that and it goes back to the original image, and you always want that underneath because for certain parts you want it to be really sharp. So say I wanted the eyes to be like perfectly crisp, I could just cut his eye out of the top layer and it would just show that. Looks kind of cool. Anyway, from there, my understanding of what he did is a lot of pen tooling. So he would obviously do like the tattoos, so he'd make a layer above, and I personally for this would rather just use a drawing tablet and like quite a defined brush, but I promised I would make a tutorial using no drawing tablet for those that don't have it, so here it is. So anyway, if you do kind of the tattoos like that, or if you make it a bit darker so it really pops, I don't know, what does that say there, like 771? I haven't actually seen that tattoo before. But I'm just going to quickly fill some of these in as an example. So like that, and then another thing that I think he did is, say like here where the eye line was, a lot of areas like that are very defined, because where the overall image is actually quite like smooth and blurred, certain parts of it are also really crisp. So like if I go to the brush and choose hard round pressure and make it really small, like that, then I use the pen tool because I've just done that line, and I go stroke path and stimulate pressure, kind of like that, and then just lower the opacity of that. It just gives it sort of that extra element of like really popping. So he's done lots of little things like that, and at the end of the day he is a talented artist. I can't just break down everything that he does, but say that might also like be there on the nose, for example, just to give it that sort of drawn over effect. I believe he does things like, say there were going to be dreads, you could go like this, select one of the dreads, and then underneath that get a dark brush, turn the hardness right down and turn the size up. Press Control Shift and I so that you're not selecting the dread, you're selecting everything outside of the dread, and then just run like a shadow down it like that. And then lower the opacity out of it, just so that it's like they're a bit 3D. You can see there's like an actual shadow underneath, like that. Not obviously that much, but when you've done that over all of them, it looks like the head's really sort of sticking out. And then he does a lot of reworking the image so that it's more of a geometric paint over as opposed to just an edited image. So how I think the easiest way of doing that, so actually no, the hard way would be like to like select the lips as an outline, for example, something like that. Fill color it, like colour it all in, lower the opacity, create a clipping mask onto that newly made layer, select that like that bit there, for example, is going to be the light area at the top, so I'd pick sort of a light pink like that, and then apply that, and then if you'll turn the opacity up just bit by bit, oh, wrong colour, and then the lip colour being like a dark red. And yeah, effectively just bit by bit working on each area, just remaking it. You can always do that and then add like a layer effect to like just merge it with the original image so it's not too extreme. So like that, for example, it just makes his lips really pop. Obviously you probably wouldn't want to put like make it bright red because then it's lipstick on a guy, but you get the idea. But yeah, the easy way of just adding these effects would be, say this area here on his cheek is quite light, I would just maybe roughly capture that, and then on a layer above everything else I'm going to select the colour by holding Alt and left clicking on that area of his cheek, and then just select a brush that has like a lot of texture in it. So one of these one works for me. This is called Sketch Brush by Sephiroth. You can download brushes off Photoshop off the internet quite easily. So yeah, I'm just gonna like drop that on there, and then say here it's like a slightly darker colour. So you might go like that, select that colour. I always like to exaggerate. As I say the colour's darker, I would go quite a bit darker. And then there's a even darker line under there going like under the nose. So something like that. So yeah, once again I'm going a bit darker, and I'm not that happy with this brush. I know there's some better ones out there. Try that one. Yeah, that's quite cool. Lots of texture there. Sorry, I hit the mic there. Testing, testing. Yeah, in situations like this, I'm going to use this mic. I've got a new headset, and it means that I can have my drawing tablet here and actually freely use it. I should just have it so like my mic hangs down, but that's a lot of effort. Anyway, yeah, you get the idea. So you just keep like adding areas of his face. So select that, go like that. You almost want a brush as well that takes colours from nearby areas, so it doesn't just like source your colour. It like sort of merges it itself. And then the other thing that he does is he literally just uses the pen tool and completely fills it in. So if I go hard round style on my brush, he will have like there, it's kind of a bit of a triangular shape that I've left. So I'm going to select that area of skin, make it slightly lighter so you can see it, and do the triangle like that. And then just to blend it back in, I have like another one there, which is the true colour. And that looks a bit extreme at the moment because most of his face hasn't been done by this new style that I'm showing you. But as you start to work your way in with that, that's going to look more and more like cartoonified. Just quickly do like this whole side of his face here. Going back to a texture brush, pick a different one. Anyway, yeah, you effectively just keep working your way up like that, doing selecting little areas, exaggerating the colour, and just blocking it in. And then something that you can do just for the sort of continuity effect is when you're completely done, you can take what you've done and reduce the noise again so that it goes back to that original style. And like here on the ears where they've got quite heavily blurred, because he manages to blur his but keep it quite crisp, he just goes over it and like remakes the lines. So say like that. He would then sort of select parts, and he wouldn't use a texture brush for that because it's quite crisp, but I'm going to do it, and you can see from a distance then the ear is way more defined than it was before. How has he done his eyes? So his eyes, oh yeah, and he always adds like colour to the eye, so there it's pink. So a quick way of doing that is the last thing that I'll show you guys, because I've already been recording for 13 minutes. And if you're not happy with this tutorial, because it is really concise, what I'm thinking of doing is if this video gets, say, 40 likes, no, let's go 50 likes, which will be easy depending on how big this video gets. I can easily blow that, or if it's like if it just is a regular size video that only my subscribers see, then 50 likes is a bit of an ask, but we'll see. If you want it, then you can get it to there, but if we get that, I'll do a full speed art where I make art as similar as his but choosing a different wrapper, and just completely like create his style, and then break down what I did afterwards and talk about it. So that will give you guys like a far bigger insight, I think. So yeah. So now I'm selecting this blue layer. It's on the same layer as everything else, so but that doesn't matter for this. Something like that looks really cool, but you want it to have more of a shine. Oh, I quite like that for now. And then you could have like So these lines above the eye are super important for the image because that's like a focus point. So for that you'd probably want like a really dark, so his is kind of on the greeny yellow area, but you probably want to avoid doing that. Just make it kind of blue. And then he has the rest of his eye like white out usually. So let's do that. And then create a clipping mask and just apply shadows from a distance. So there's like how you would apply a false eye. You'd probably have a dark line around the outside of that, and you'd want to use that to like reinforce the circular shape because it's kind of been slightly lost here. So I might do that. So yeah, this is a really brief tutorial and I'm just kind of showing you random areas of what to do here. But as I said, I'm happy to go in full detail if that's what you guys would like. So something like that looks quite cool, and then he usually also has a glow. So if I had that, the glow is obviously going to be blue, so I'll select like quite a light, vibrant blue, and then just do a big blob like that, and then just flick through like the layer modes. That looks kind of cool where it's like it's gone into the eye effect, but you almost want it just hitting the skin around the outside, so something like that, it really pops. And effectively you get the idea, you keep working on it so the whole image eventually doesn't show the original image underneath, it's just these painterly effects mixed with the effects that I've made here, and bit by bit you end up with a recreation. The 69 one's like unbelievably sick, and that's a lot to do with the background, and if this gets 50 views I will also have a go at creating one of his random backgrounds. So I'm assuming unless he's actually gone out and done photography and or painted his own background, I'm guessing he's just used a variety of imagery that he's found online and sort of reworked them. But that's cool, they're still really sick. So yeah, and he uses lots of like lightning, like the lightning zapping around the hands there. I saw that in some of his old ones they were full of those kind of effects. This Suicide Boys one's pretty sick as well, like flicking the knife. And I guess in situations like this a lot of it has been redrawn, so I don't want to like bash on him at all. This is what my understanding of his approach is. He might completely redraw all the characters. I don't want him to be like, oh no, oh looks like 6ix9ine's actually. Is that the official? No, it's not. Fan page. I thought the actual 6ix9ine had liked that. Anyway, he gets a lot of exposure either way. So, but yeah, hope that helped. Let's get 50 likes and I'll do a speed art of a random rapper. Oh, I forgot to take that one to a step further. But yeah, I'll do a speed art of a random rapper. If you guys do some artwork like this, just tweet me or DM me. Instagram's probably the best place. I'd love to see it. Check out my last video if you haven't seen that. I talked about my streetwear brand in some more detail and how I use Depop to sell stuff. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like, drop a subscribe if you haven't already, drop a comment. Tell me what your favourite Ben & Jerry's ice cream is, because I always go for cookie dough. It's like the only one I'll buy, the other ones aren't worth it for me. I liked fish food when it first came out. But yeah, just tell me what your favourite Ben & Jerry's is. And if you're just gonna say the regular chocolate one, just don't comment. You can click off the video now and miss out on the insane outro that you're about to see. Yeah. Alright guys, anyway. Really strange outro there. Don't know why I'm flexing, that's more of a stretch, but it looked really arrogant. Right, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Let's get 50 likers.
Hey, hold up, take a moment, count my guap, all these racks bumming in, they bumming in, hold up, hey, count my guap,